offense let them down.
Yeah.
I'll say all night. Not the first drive, not the last drive. The rest of the time, let them down.
I understand frustration at times with this defense, but they are held together by duct tape, bubble gum, and tinfoil, and they performed better than the offense did. That's the bottom line. To me, the issues start offensively.
Buffalo Plus, your interactive look at the week in football, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalano along with Dan Fates. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. I'm going to tell you this right now. Unlike the Bills offense, we are going to go with pace for this entire video. How does that sound to you?
I liked it.
Yeah, I wrote down our list as we do our 10 takeaways from the game. The first thing I wrote, offense let them down.
Yeah.
I'll say all night. Not the first drive, not the last drive. The rest of the time, let them down.
I understand frustration at times with this defense, but they are held together by duct tape, bubble gum, and tinfoil, and they performed better than the offense did. That's the bottom line. To me, the issues start offensively, because while the defense is without both of their middle linebackers, they're without a corner, they're without their best nose tackle, all of those things. If you would have told me before the game, you would hold the Bengals to 24 points, you would take it in a heartbeat. That the offense has let this team down once again.
I don't understand why they stopped playing with the pace and the speed and the no huddle. And I'll give you this. They didn't have great field position. That was a problem.
Sure.
Also, they didn't have it on the first drive, and they went right down the field, 85 yards, and scored. And I got a feeling Sean McDermott wants to know why they didn't do that. And I got a feeling Josh Allen wants to know why they didn't do that. Because Allen mentioned the game plan several times in his post game. He's frustrated.
Yeah. We heard it again today.
Yeah.
And from the response to a lot of our tweets, fans are upset about lack of execution, lack of getting in a rhythm. We struggled to find it. We couldn't get into one. It's become their calling card. It's become, as much as it is trust the process, it is becoming we can't get into a rhythm. They were able to find a rhythm on Thursday night against the Bucs by the first drive is a prime example.
Yeah.
In rhythm. All of those things. Defense on their heels. You're playing free. You're playing what this offense is meant to be. And it feels like at times this offense, you're holding them back by huddling. And you're giving the advantage back to the defense.
The biggest frustration is basically these are the 11 guys you start the season with.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of Dawson Knox being out. And honestly,
they might be upgrading there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the idea is you get another receiver on the field. Though, did Gabe play?
No. He's out of milk carton somewhere. We're looking for him.
Look, he had a good game last week, but these are the games you need the other guy. Dalton Kincaid, we can talk about him in a second. I want to say about Gabe Davis. Look, T. Higgins is a really good player. He stepped up tonight because Jamar Chase was nowhere for a while. And T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, those guys were making plays.
Smith.
I asked Josh about Gabe. He pointed to game plan. Okay. I would think he looks for Gabe. He's thrown a lot of targets to Gabe. I'm not exactly sure what that means about game plan. Maybe he didn't want to say. I don't know. But Gabe Davis, I think it was 2 or 3 targets, 0 catches in the game. Cannot have that with your number 2 receiver.
No, and the only deep shot was taken to Deontay Hardy. Again, and there's passes that are going to Trent Sherfield. It's all cute and fun when you're spreading the ball around, when you're marching up and down the field. When Khalil Shakir and Trent Sherfield, in my opinion, are taking targets away from Stephon Diggs, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I just force it to Diggs.
We've seen that that's a recipe that works. I know you don't want to force the ball to anybody. You can force the ball to 14. And again, at times he took over the game. And at times then they just went away from it for long periods.
Yeah, I mean, this offense used to scare other teams. Honestly, the only people it scares is the people who enjoy the Bills and want to watch the game. Because right now, even last week, while it was different and they played with that pace, it still wasn't dominant. But it was a step, it looked like a step in the right direction. They stepped back. You had that first drive and you say, okay, that's a good response because the Bengals walked down the field and got the touchdown the first drive. But after that, it was a slog the entire time until the end where they would make a few plays, but very limited.
Yeah, and again, when they went up tempo, it worked. And Sean McDermott even said that. He was asked, why didn't you go up tempo more? And he's like, we're going to look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it too.
All right, it's Ken Dorsey.
Like,
I mean, I don't know. Look, it's easy to just pin it on a guy, but Josh looks frustrated. Obviously, McDermott is frustrated, and when they're outwardly mentioning game plans, or I have to look into that, he wasn't saying for any other reason. I don't know.
And to me, this was what we were worried about. For as excited as I was and joked that Ken Dorsey dressed up as Brian Dable for Halloween, you were the one that said that is now on tape.
Yeah.
That now you've seen that. And we've talked about this before as well. We sound like broken records. That's what's so frustrating to me. We talked about the difference between play calling and calling a game. Up until midway through the fourth quarter, they had 3 points on unscripted drives. The opening drive is scripted. It's easy. You had that installed the entire week. I could do that because that's just basically following the script. But once that's over, and Lou Runo, after he makes an adjustment, what do you do? And once again, I feel like the Bills and Ken Dorsey peed down their leg.
Yeah, it didn't help. I didn't think the offensive line had a good day. I thought they got pressure a lot. I thought Josh made some plays.
Yep.
Look, terrible throw for that first interception.
Yep.
Bad decision, bad throw. But beyond that, I thought he was running around, and then when he started running, the ball moved a little bit more. And I know you guys want to see him run more. He's not 100% healthy.
Nope.
He can still throw the ball.
Yep.
There's pain there.
Yep.
When he warmed up, he didn't really warm up throwing like he normally does.
He didn't warm up pregame with just not without pads on. He didn't throw with players early on.
I mean, he's tough, all those things. But I can hear his teeth clenching when he has to answer our questions after the game. He is just a frustrated quarterback. And look, all blame can't go on one person because everybody contributes. But I'm going to say it again. Your way is not working. I used to say it to my daughter when she was a teenager. Your way is not working. I'm sorry, with Ken Dorsey, I know he's a talented mind. The guy's forgotten more football than I'll ever know.
100%.
But I'm not hired to coach this offense. I don't have a thoroughbred like Josh Allen. I don't have Stephon Diggs. I'm just standing there watching it like a guy who's watched this league for 35 years, and well, more than that, but at least covering it. And I'm like, that works. This doesn't. Do more of that.
Yeah. And what's frustrating to me, and maybe this is us looking into it too much. Maybe this is us being around the team too much. But we got done with the press conference, and I said, they don't seem pissed.
Yeah.
McDermott and Allen were the only two that came to the podium. That's fine.
That happens in a loss sometimes.
It is what it is. But Josh didn't come up there despondent, like after a Jets game, and say, I played like shit. He didn't do any of that. He was almost maligned to the fact, and what you've talked about, this is who they are.
It's accepting almost.
It's accepting of, take a Brandon Bean quote, you didn't get run out of the gym.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing that one.
Well, hey, we only lost 3 games. We were in every one of them. This game, you were in it. It didn't really feel like it.
Dalton Kincaid's really good.
It's really good football.
And
player.
I don't look, that fumble was, if you're going to give a guy a pass on a fumble, he got flipped in the air.
Yep.
The ball's exposed. Defender made a great play to knock it out.
Well, how about this too? He injures his ankle.
They're just yelling. By the way, this is kind of a weird place.
Yeah.
We have more strange things. This guy doesn't realize everybody's talking. He's over here yelling.
Yeah.
Let him yell.
Yeah, also, like, Dalton Kincaid injured his ankle on one of the drives. I think it was the drive right before halftime.
And he still caught a pass.
Stayed in the game.
And caught a pass.
And caught a pass again. Like, that guy's tough. He was able doing all of those things. To me, again, hey, we'll have to look at the film.
Yeah.
All of these things. But nobody seemed open. And yes, it is part of Jimmy's and Joe's, and guys just have to make plays. You got to scheme some things up. It's what we've been talking about. Draw something, plays that are creative. They tried a flea flicker. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Take a shot. Worth it. Besides that, again, another boring script after the opening drive.
Yeah. They don't. I would say they don't have identity. This is their identity.
This is their identity.
They're a pretty mediocre offense. Now, the numbers, Benjamin Solak follows all the numbers. He was saying it sarcastically about the Bills, saying that their EPA is one of the highest in all these things, yet they're 5-4.
Yep.
Because the numbers can lie to you. They've had very good numbers in some games.
Yep.
It's about yards. They put on some yards in the first drive and the last drive. They don't they don't scare anybody with this offense. Diggs does. Beyond Diggs, no one scares you.
Yeah.
Josh used to scare you more, but you got to help him out more.
That's it.
So, on the defensive side, let's talk about them a little bit. They are so beaten up now.
Comical.
I'm going to give Dane Jackson some props in this game. Made some
out.
plays,
Yep.
made plays on the ball.
Yep.
He got banged up in the game, too. Give Rasul Douglas credit.
Yep.
Been here for 2 practices. He's out there playing. Christian Benford got hurt. He left the game. I mean, you had Josh Norman in at the end of the game playing
Terrell
corner
Bernard
for you.
went out.
Bernard, it's a huge loss when he's not there because they're already struggling on the other side. Tyrell Dodson is a very good special teams player and a backup. He is
Yep.
not a starter in the league.
Made a play on 4th down.
He did make a play.
Like
I give him
again,
that.
Again, he seems like an all or nothing. Either he flies in, over pursues something, misses a tackle, or
Yeah.
he actually is there at the right time and makes a play. But again, you have him along with Dorian Williams. Like you have, I can't stress it enough how banged up this defense is.
Yeah.
And they kept, for the most part, they were the ones bailing water out of this sinking ship of a team,
Yeah.
hoping for the lifeboat of the offense to save them, and it never came.
Micah Hyde had a few struggles in the game.
Yep.
Missed a couple of tackles. Then he got a stinger. Not great for a guy with a neck injury,
Yeah.
but hopefully he's okay. He's tough. These guys are tough. I know they're tough, but the defense at least has some, I would say, reasons.
Yeah.
Look, I got to give you this. We got to talk about the officiating. Josh walked in the room and said, I've never seen that call. It's an absurd grounding call.
Yeah.
It cost the Bills a chance at 3 points. It
Yep.
was a long field goal. He's made them before. It would have been a good thing for them before the half.
Horrendous.
But I got a feeling that when you look at that, you go, obviously, it was miscommunication with the quarterback and the receiver. That happens all the time. I've never seen them call grounding.
The rule of intentional grounding isn't to punish miscommunication. It's to punish when you're trying to avoid a sack and pressure.
He wasn't even pressured.
There was none of that. So again, Josh said afterwards he had never seen that play called. He would have do the same thing again. It's another. I guess it's another knock on Gabe Davis too for the miscommunication.
Yeah, that happened a few times in this one. I had 3 calls. Tim Saddle on the roughing.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. He had Burrow land on him. Now, Burrow did hit his head as he fell to the ground. I'm not sure what Tim Saddle was supposed to do other than carry the quarterback to the ground, and they called that one. And the other one was the missed face mask right here behind me and Gabe in the end zone. The replays are not kind to the officials that they missed it. The Bills saw it
But
right
they don't
away.
have to answer any
Yeah,
questions.
they don't. And look, they didn't lose the game because of the referees, but when you're struggling like this team is,
Yeah, everything
you
just
could
stopped.
use a
Yeah.
break or two, and they didn't get that. All right.
Vaughn.
He had very good pressure on one play that led to a sack. I was following him. I do try to see, because I want to see the night of the game. I want to see if he's having an impact. He had an impact on that play, and they got a sack from the other side, but he definitely was in there the rest of the night. Look, I'm not giving him a pass. They pay him a lot of money. He is that guy that he's been. But we aren't even to a year from the surgery. I mean, he came back. They need him to be on the field, but, you know,
He's hurting him a little bit.
well, he's not getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Greg Rousseau got his hand on one ball today, but Rousseau's not making plays either. Really, the D-line, they aren't getting pressure. If you're not getting pressure, quarterback's got time. And I will say one thing about Joe Burrow. He's not the athlete Josh Allen is, but that guy knows how to move around in a pocket.
The
He gets
game
himself
looks
clear.
so slow to him.
Yeah.
And I think that also it's like Ken Dorsey's catching ricochets over the place. It just seems like they have a plan.
Yeah.
They have an identity. They know what, hey, this is where the play's going. If that's not there, you know what you're doing. They seem coordinated offensively.
Yeah.
This goes back to the Bills not being it. But again, I just
but-
watched that game and I go, he's got so much Brady in him. He's got so
does.
much calm, cool, collected in the pocket, never rattled, chaos around him. He's making plays.
Joe Shiesty.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I will say this. They only scored 24 points. I thought they kept the Bills in the game
I
with
agree.
some of their dumb decisions,
Yeah.
dumb penalties, and then a few good plays by the Bills defense that kept them in the football game. And by the way, they did score and got the 2-point conversion, and it's still a football game.
Yep.
Beautiful play. They got single coverage. Great throw by Burrow, and that was it.
Yeah.
Put the game away.
Other things defensively, Linval Joseph, massive human being.
What a debut. His first, either on his first series or first play, drives him back 2 yards on that play, and they
Yeah.
ended up getting a stop on that one.
That's
That's a plus.
It is staggering how large of a human being. He makes Jordan Phillips look small.
Yeah. Big
Massive
dude.
human.
They needed somebody like that. Give him credit again.
Yeah.
Stepping in, and he wasn't playing.
No.
Stepping in
Yeah.
and playing. So credit for that. And again, Rasul Douglas trying to learn the defense. But by the way, at the moment, if they had to play a game, they're not playing one tomorrow. I think it would be Rasul Douglas and Josh Norman playing corner, because both the guys are banged up. Now we'll see how the week progresses. Final thing, we know how they've played and where they are. Where they are right now, Dan, is 5-4. Out of the playoffs at the moment with a daunting schedule coming up. Can this team find a way?
I don't think so.
I don't have the confidence, because I don't have the confidence in the offense.
Yeah, and this goes back to something, and I know we keep circling back to Dorsey, but we're sitting there. I know I've said this before. You talked about it after the New England game.
Yeah.
That he was kind of coaching for his job on the Bucs game, and they changed it up. Something needs to change again. You can't keep doing this roller coaster motions. It's consistency. And to me, if you don't want to fire Dorsey, you make a move if you think you can salvage the season.
Yeah.
If you don't, you just ride it out, and it is what it is. But for me, either bring Dorsey down from the box onto the sidelines. I'm talking about changing something up. Something isn't working.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to fire him or make some major change, tweak something. You can do it. For the longest time, Dable was on the sidelines, and then he went up in the booth, and the offense got better. This isn't working.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, switch something up. I don't know if it'd be very hard to take away play calling duties and keep his job, but it's just not working.
Yeah. And look, I wonder what level of frustration Josh Allen has. Look, he picked Dorsey.
Yeah.
Wanted Dorsey. Have been there with him. But guys got to step up. And this is the offense they started the year with. It is all these guys, like I said, except for Knox. And it's not really better. We were hopeful last week. And look, the Bengals are a good team, well coached, all
Not
those
that great
things.
defensively.
They aren't that good. No. And the Bills look like they were the whole night just searching for something.
And Josh said, hey, we're halfway point. Realistically, you need 10, 11 wins to make the playoffs. He goes, is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be pretty? No, but we still think we can do it. Eagles,
Dolphins, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, and
Jets.
Well, yeah.
I don't
want to see them against the Jets defense yet. They got to get some stuff figured out. So this is negative, but hey, I know you guys are negative too. Negative. We're being truthful. This is what we're seeing.
It's just not good.
No.
And I guess what's most frustrating is this is who they are. This is who they are.
Yep. Well, look, they had a shot to be in first place. I'll tell you right now, you want to root for this team to make the playoffs, they got to win some games, and you got to root for the Dolphins to blow a couple of games, because I think their path to the playoffs is going to end up being one way, and that's winning the division. I think it's going to be easier for them to win the division than make it as a wild card. And the reason I say that is their conference record is not good.
Yeah.
And even if their division record, they got a loss to New England, that's fine if they could beat the Dolphins twice. That would be the path. I know you don't look at tiebreakers and that now, but when you start looking, don't look at the standings, because it's not pretty. All 4 teams in the AFC North make the playoffs right now. Now, they're going to start beating each other up too.
Yeah.
But, man, with the schedule they have coming, and by the way, the Broncos are starting to figure a little bit out. They've won a couple in a row, and they're coming off a bye.
Yeah, everything's must win from now on.
Okay. Fun times. You had a good dinner last night.
I did.
Yeah.
Kruger's Tavern. If you're in Cincinnati, go there. Get the
I
fried
stayed
mozzarella.
home.
Get
I
the-
old man did. I stayed home. I was tired. I let the youngster go out.
So
All
bad.
right.
This sucks.
Yeah, this does. This
This
does.
sucks. Again, losing to Cincinnati in Cincinnati isn't the end of the world. Like that's not the shocking thing.
Right.
It's how you lost.
Well, how you've been playing over the last month plus. Not good.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe though.
Yes,
Appreciate
we
it.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on
Like,
Buffalo
comment,
Plus.
subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
Buffalo Plus, your interactive look at the week in football, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.